Hello R1280, this is Eric Dieterding here, and with a quick demonstration on having fun with type. Now, I've already opened an image. You'll see in your skills practice that you have a required size to meet, but I'm just going to go ahead and choose one of my favorite images, one of my favorite bridges to hike on. In this video, we're going to do a quick screen back of your text layer. So we're going to go right ahead and jump into that, go and click on our text tool here, and I'm just going to click once. I'm not going to worry about paragraph type at this point, and I'm going to go in and choose a nice bold font for the demonstration. Maybe not my favorite one, but my bold font. I'm going to type in our location of the picture, of course. So once you do that, you should already remember from the lecture that we're going to go jump into levels and screen back the text that way. There are a couple of ways to make your selection of text so that when you go to your adjustment layers and levels, you're not messing with the entire photograph. And you're not pinning it to the layer below and using the colored text. So we're going to close that, delete that layer. So you should remember, instead of using the magic wand tool, to select your type, that you can hold Control and click on the T in your text layer, and it'll make that entire selection. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off so we don't have to look at the colored text anymore, and go back to my adjustment layer and levels. And you'll see here that you have a mask created within that selection, so that when you go to the left, you can make your screen brighter, and go to the right, you can make your screen darker. And you see here the difference is not making it blue, it's bringing the midtones in the sky through so that you can see it through the text. So I chose this image for a couple of reasons too, just to make it different from the demonstration, that there will be times where it's a little difficult to read when you're doing it a little more subtle, and there'll be times where you can just place it up top and it'll be super easy to read. So different effects will have different readability edits for you to work with. So you want to just make sure when you're taking the time to do these skills practices that you're trying everything possible and not just the exact same ones that we did in the lecture. So you can see in my histogram that the levels even change with inside of it here on the bottom right. So I'm going to start off in the sky, and I'm going to keep it this light so that when we change the layer effects, you can see the differences in between them. So I believe in the lecture we did drop shadow and bevel emboss, and those are two of my favorite ones. But let's bring up the whole layer style menu, and let's just try a couple for the sake of demonstration. Let's try an inner shadow. You can see it's already easier to read. It's at 100% opacity. I'm going to keep it there. The fill is pretty strong. Oops, sorry. It's at 100% opacity here, and it almost looks like it could be a stroke. So you see a couple different effects also do very similar things. And you can change the angle to get your desired effect. You can do that with your drop shadow as well. Now the distance is going to make it a little more difficult to read, but I like it so that it looks like a nice cool 3D effect. So your goal is really to try all of these effects. And if I may recommend, try them in different spots of your image. So what works in one may not work in the other, and just know that you want to take the time now to practice that and determine what works for which image. So if I move mine over there in the bottom left and it's green now, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the inner shadow, maybe do an outer glow. See if it works there. I don't think I like that. I don't think I like any of that. But that's okay, because I'm just going to go ahead and click that off and go into some of the ones we did in the lecture. So if I went here and made a nice opaque shadow and change the distance from being super far away to nice and close and give it a nice little outline. I don't want it to spread out too much or have the size too big. I just want it to be able to read it, to make it look like my letters were made with nature and the grass. Maybe this angle for my drop shadow isn't working the best, so maybe I'll go on like a little off to the side. I don't know, maybe this way. That's all skills practices are for. We're going to show you where the tools are, and you're going to go ahead and practice a whole bunch of different options. So if I press OK there, I think it will work in the grass with these two items. I think it might work in the grass and over the bridge with these two effects on them. I think it works in the sky, but it's a totally different option. So there are other things in the effects panel, like maybe a gradient or color overlay. Oh good, it's already blue. So if you were to work and change the different colors of the slider, one here, and see if I made that maybe like a darker blue. Let's see how that goes. So now maybe if I'm in the blue sky, I want to make my colors blue. Maybe I don't want it to be 100% opaque because we did screen back the text, but I did want to add a little bit of color. And you can use your type differently. So now it doesn't work in the grass again, but it was working nicely in the sky. So I hope that shows you a couple of different things that are different from the lecture. There's not too many things that are entailed. I'm going to duplicate my background. I'm going to create type and make sure that I also turn off my type layer, hold Control down to make a selection, and then when I'm in my selection, I'm going to go ahead and choose my adjustment layers. I'm going to choose levels, and I'm going to go into levels and change my midtone slider back and forth. And you can still keep working on this even after you add the effects to see if your desired effect changes after you add color or shadows or bevels or emboss. Tune into the next video, not level. Reading adjustment layers too many times. Tune into the next video for more fun with type.